Yes, hello again. This is now tarot lesson number 134. So today, two things. One, we're going to finish the Celtic Cross that we began last time. And then Diego had a question. What do you do if somebody asks a question? You pick cards, but it seems the cards that come up seem to be answering a different question. Do you reshuffle and pick more cards, or what do you do? So I'm going to give you an answer to that. Because what I'm going to do is we'll look at this spread from the point of view of the question that was asked, and then I'm going to go through the same spread answering a different question, because I think the point is, if you ask the question, you know what the question is before you begin. The cards that come up are the answer to the question. Even if you don't quite understand them, or if it looks like something else, I think it's up to the reader to figure out what the cards mean or what they're saying, rather than us think that they were asking a different question. I think we have to go with, if this card came up, that's the card that you talk about. You don't get in your own way by thinking, well, maybe it was a different question, or getting the questioner to ask something else. Because sometimes people ask a question that they don't really mean, but that's their problem. It's not, I think, the tarot's problem, or it's not your problem, you the reader. So I've got these 4 cards here. Normally they're in a straight line, but I'm not sure about the camera angle, whether it's going to pick up all 4. So I shifted it over to the side to make it more viewable. So the question was about some fellow in England. I think it was in England, maybe, but he was in a relationship that was going badly, and he didn't know whether to stay or go. So the first card was a Page of Swords. The atmosphere surrounding the question, there was doubt and indecision, and it was a page. So he was at a new stage of understanding, or he was experiencing this kind of relationship for the first time, or it was like a new experience, a new person maybe, and it's taking time to get to know what they're like. And this is the early stage, because it's a page, and pages represent young people. The opposing force was, does he walk away? The 8 of Cups. So is he meant to stay and maybe feel he's got to defend himself because he's holding a sword, or does he leave and find somebody else? The foundation was the 2 of Cups. So in its own way, the question is about relationships, and what the immediate future was going to be the Lover's reverse. So it looked like this person that he's involved with at the moment is not the right one. It's going to go wrong, because the Lover's showing a couple. Here we've got the 2 of Cups showing a couple. The Lover's is upside down. It's not going to work. And also this is a major trump. So it's as if they're not on the same page. They're going in different directions. Then I can't remember what this one is. It's like the recent past, I think. The 2 of Pentacles. He's having to juggle. The immediate future is the Star, which I thought was good. I mean, you probably think it's good as well, but I was thinking that we've got the 2 of Cups here, the Lover's here, reversed here. So he's looking for somebody important and serious in a good long-term relationship. He's not going to find it with this person, I think, but he's going to find it next. So if he walks away, he's going to meet somebody, maybe because we get back what we give out. So if he has the courage to walk away from something that isn't working, he changes his vibration, or he changes his mentality. And that means that he attracts a different person who's more compatible, or who's more in harmony with what the fellow is like now. Because the 2 of Cups upright, if he's got courage and gives up on this person here, the current one, he's going to find somebody better, because the Star is hope and inspiration. Also, the card for the present, for the self of the individual, is the 9 of Cups upright. He's got expectations. That's the wish card, and it's upright. So things are going to work out the way he wants. So, but he really probably needs to leave this person or give them up. So 3 cards left: the influence of other people, hopes and fears, and the final outcome. So the wish card is here. The influence of other people is the sun. So other people are, and because it's about a relationship, instead of other people generally, I think we look at this card as being the other person who's going to come into his life. This seems to be connected with the star card. So if he gives up and walks away, he's going to meet somebody new who's more compatible, who's more interesting, who likes him more than this person does, because it's a star. And if we look at this card being the influence of other people can show what kind of person he's going to meet. And he's going to meet somebody who is represented by the sun card. They're sunny, they're hopeful, they're optimistic, they're inspirational, they're good fun, they're good to be with, they support you, and all the rest. Good things because it's a sun and it's upright. And because it's a major trump, and that's a major trump, and that's a reverse major trump, the problems that he's experiencing with this individual are not going to be present in the next person. So he can be hopeful and his wishes are going to come true. So the influence of other people, generally, we would maybe look at this card to know if other people generally are going to be helpful or supportive or whatever. Here, because it's the sun, somehow it ties in with this star card. And it's about the kind of person he's going to meet if he gives up on this one. The next card is the hopes and fears. And we get the Emperor. So, hopes and fears. I used to think, or as a general rule, maybe if the card is upright, it represents your hopes. And if it's upside down, as you turn it over, it represents your fears. And that's what, because hopes and fears, which is it? And that's one way of deciding, is it a hope or is it a fear? At the same time, if you think about it, hopes are for the future because they haven't happened yet. Right, because you hope that something's going to turn out well, but it hasn't turned out well yet. But so it's in the future. And fear, F-E-A-R, somebody once pointed out, can stand for F means future, E experiences, A appearing, and R real. F-E-A-R, future experiences appearing real. Again, fears haven't happened yet. You're afraid that something's going to go wrong, but it hasn't gone wrong yet. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a fear. So either way, the card in the ninth position is about the future that hasn't happened yet. And that can be useful for the reader to know, so you know what to do with this particular card. So here he's the Nine of Cups, and the hope or fear relates to or is about being an emperor or meeting an emperor. So if we take it both ways, he wants to be powerful, in charge, dominating, and in a way it's kind of different from this Page of Swords, who's young and inexperienced. He wants to be, let's say, old, not so much old and wise, but old and older and experienced, because emperors know what they're doing. Right? If you're going to run an empire and it's upright, you need to know people and work and how things work and who goes along with whom and all the rest of it. You've got to organize. So he hopes for himself to be the emperor. And we're going to know if it worked when we look at the last card. But this emperor card can also represent the kind of person he's looking for. So is he can become the emperor. He wants to become the emperor in his relationships and make the decisions and be forceful and be powerful and not be wishy-washy. But at the same time, he's looking for somebody who is tough and domineering and dominating and knows what they're doing and has experience. So he wants to change from this Page of Swords. He wants somebody who knows what they're doing. And then the last card happens to be the Queen of Batons upside down. So it looks like, because the final outcome is the queens are in charge, but it's upside down. So I think he's looking for an emperor, or he's looking to be an emperor. And the first time he tries to find it, it's not going to work, because the card that follows the Emperor, the hopes and fears, is a Queen upside down. So it's a bit like maybe ultimately he will become the Emperor and he'll be strong and forceful in relationships. But even though there's this Star card and the Sun card and the Emperor, something's going to go wrong, or he's not going to be able to handle it properly. And because it's a suit of batons, the Queen of Batons is upside down, and this child in the Sun card is holding a banner on a baton. So maybe we make a connection between the Queen reversed here and the Sun here. So this is the new person coming into their life. And in the beginning, it looks like the perfect relationship and fulfilling and hopeful and optimistic and all the rest of it. But, there's a but. If the Queen of Batons had been upright at the end, I think you meet somebody, it goes well, you settle down, you have a long-term relationship with them. Here, I think because the Queen is upside down, you meet somebody, it goes well for a while. You learn a certain amount about yourself and about partnerships and what they're good for and what life is for. But in the long run, you discover that this person isn't everything you thought they were at the beginning. Because you know what it's like when you're young and in love and you meet somebody and they're wonderful and you put them on a pedestal and they can do no wrong. But then the thing is, can you also see their faults and live with them? Because the thing is, when you put somebody on a pedestal, they can only fall off. But when they do fall off, it's because your expectations were over-optimistic. You did it to yourself through the other person. So it looks to me like, what does the person do? They ditch this one that they're with. That'll give a change that will attract somebody better and good and interesting, and you'll learn a lot. But the next person is only step one or step two to an ultimate destination. It's not the end of the story. Meeting this person is not the end of the story. It's a chapter. And then this is the book, maybe. He's got more to learn. And he's going to learn a lot from this person, 3 major trumps. But it's not ultimately the person that he will want to settle down with or be able to settle down with. So this is looking at these 3 cards. The other thing is, okay, so Diego's question was about let's say that somebody wanted to know, should I move to a new city? Let's say they got a chance of a job or they're thinking about moving to a new city. And so they want to know, is it going to work out well? Is it going to be a good idea for me to move to a new city? And you lay this spread and maybe you think, oh, this is about relationships, not about moving to a new city. Because we've got the Lovers and we've got the 2 of Cups here. But I think what you do is, if the question that you wrote down, and it's important to write down the question before you shuffle and before you lay cards, because it's easy to forget the actual wording of the question. And you can't quite remember what the person was asking. So you end up confused. So when you've got the question, write it down, and then you know what the cards are answering. So let's say the question was, is it a good idea to move to a new city? You look at the spread from the point of view of, is it a good idea to move to a new city? So the first card is the Page of Swords. And so this is the atmosphere surrounding the question. Is it a good idea? Maybe you've never done it before. You've never moved to a new city. And so you're going to be inexperienced and there's going to be things to learn. And because it's a sword, maybe you feel a bit defensive and you're not quite sure how you're going to be able to handle it. The obstacle is this 8 of Cups, somebody walking away. So this is your dilemma. If you're not totally confident and you've never done it before, do you walk away? Do you move to a new place? Because you don't know anybody, maybe you don't speak the language depending on the city and the country. And maybe you're a little bit afraid. So that's the dilemma, these two cards. So it does answer the question, is it a good idea to move to a new city? The foundation is the Two of Cups. So here where you live now, you've got friends and relationships and people that you know, and they're going well. And maybe this is why you're wondering, you'd like to leave for your own self and your own development, the Page. But the fact that you've got close connections with people already with the Two of Cups is getting in the way of you having the confidence and the courage to move to a new city. So you can look at all these cards from the point of view of a move to a new city. It doesn't have to be about relationships. So with the Lovers as the immediate future, this is, in old decks, it was the two paths, a young man standing at crossroads. So with the Lovers coming up, upside down, you're going to think that it was a bad move, whatever you do. So if you go, you're going to think it was a bad move. If you don't go, you're going to think you should have gone. So here in the immediate future, if whatever you do, you're going to wonder about it because it's the Lovers and it's upside down. What's passing away is the Two of Pentacles. This can mean that if you're going to go to the new city, can you afford it? Because it's coins, which is money. And here you're trying to juggle. Maybe you've got a new job, or you need to get a job when you get there, or you need to rent a place to live and you need last month's rent. And so you've been scrambling to gather enough money to go. The immediate future is a Star. Yes, it's a good move. So you may have doubts when you get there, but you have doubts if you stay here where you are. So the immediate future is the Star. So you're going to, a star is something you see at night, right? So even if you're in the darkness, you're going to find a spot of light that's going to guide you. So it may be that you want to go to a new city and you've looked into the possibilities of living there and it looks good, but you've got a little bit of a doubt. Then you're going to notice something or meet somebody or have a bit of inspiration. Things are going to click and you'll see clearly the direction which you go because there's a star shining at night. You're maybe in the darkness, but it doesn't matter because you've got something to aim for, the star. Hopes and wishes, the present position. Do you want to move? Yes, you want to move because you want to make your life great. It's that wish card that's upright. So if you stay here, if you stay where you are, you have to do something about making it perfect or making it all that you wanted. But if you go to the new city, you have to go wanting to make it perfect or wanting to make it really, really good, where your wishes are going to come true. And because it's upright, they will, if you go. The influence of other people is the Sun card and it's upright. So you will meet good people there, friendly, optimistic, hopeful, people who like you, people that you like, because it's the Sun. What the hopes and fears, you will become dominant in the new city, the new place that you go to. You'll become an emperor or the emperor. So you'll be able to make decisions that affect you, decisions that affect other people. You'll be respected. You'll be taken seriously if that's important to you. One way or the other, you are an emperor. And it can mean that you'll meet powerful, important people. So let's say you go to a school and you work in a school. The head of the department that you're in is good and dominant, and you like that person and they like you. Or maybe the principal of the school likes you and you like the principal. One way or the other, people in powerful positions are your friend. And you like them and they like you and you relate to each other. Then we've got this page of the Queen of Batons at the end, the final outcome. So you move to a new city, it'll go well, but then you'll get bored or then you'll get uninspired because it's Batons, which is inspiration and enterprise. So you'll find that as time goes by, you don't have the opportunities later that you maybe have when you get there. So you go to the new city, you settle in, you become successful, but then you feel the need to move on again. So this is the long-term future, the final outcome. So is it a good idea to move to the new city? Yes, but you're not going to stay there forever, because the Queen of Batons at the end is upside down. So I think the point I want to make is any card can tell you about a person, about you, about somebody you know, somebody you don't know yet. It can talk about or give you information about a condition or a situation or the past or the present or the future. And the question that you ask will determine the kind of information that you get from a card. So to answer Diego's question, if the question's been asked and it seems to be answering a different question, answer the question that was asked. Make the cards adjust to answering the question that was asked. And I think that's the way to go. Because if you start thinking, well, it's another question and I don't know what it's, then you just get into trouble. And I don't think it works particularly well. Whereas if you can, so try that, and depending on the question that was asked, trust the tarot. I think it's also trusting the tarot, that if you're if the question has been asked, that was the question that you're answering at the moment. And if the person realizes later, I didn't really want to know that, that's their problem. It's their fault. Not that I'm apportioning blame, but it's their. I think we have to go with what we're given and not think that we know better. We, the reader, know better and take control of the other individual. The person comes to you and they can be in good shape or in bad shape, but it's up to them to ask what they want to ask. You give them a ton of information and got a lot of ideas back, and it's up to them to work with what they've got or what you gave them when they get back into their life. Okay, I'll see you in a few days. Thanks for watching. Can't think. Okay, I'll see you in a bit.